Hello, hello. How are we all? Welcome back to another video. My name is Em. If you're new here, please subscribe. I would love to have you and chat to you about books. But today, I am just here to sit down with you because we are going to plan my 2026 TBR. A little bit of background for anyone who maybe hasn't been here and seen what I did last year. So last year I set a 25 books for 2025 list. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have a little look at that, see how I did, and then we're going to plan my 26 for 2026. I feel like when it gets to maybe like 2030, I will stop at 30 books like on the list because I feel like 30 books on the list is a lot. I'm just going to grab my phone. I'm also going to put my leg up because I feel like I need to be in like a different position for this. So what we're going to do first of all is have a look at what was on my 2025 TBR. So I had 25 books or series, like some of them were series, on the list, and I feel like I didn't do very well. I also don't think I completed any of the series that were on the list, and I DNF'd at least a third of the list. So I think I need to focus on books that I know that I'm going to enjoy rather than just random books on my TBR this year. Anyway, so this is my list. So this was my list for 25 or 2025. So what we had was a couple of standard books, and then also a couple of series. Out of this list, these are the ones that I read, and these are the ones that I DNF'd. And I just like didn't finish them because I just didn't want to. So, looking at what I read off the list. So the first one that I read was Wild and Wrangled. I loved this. I love Lila Sage. I'll probably have Lila Sage on my list coming up, maybe. I don't know. I haven't decided. We've got Stranger Skies, Rewitched, When the Moon Hatched, Pucking Around, Wild Eyes, and Onyx Storm. Out of all of those, I really did not enjoy Pucking Around. I just don't think I'm a Why Choose girly. I just don't think they're for me. I understand the appeal, and I liked the plot, but there was just too much sex going on for me, to be honest. It was a wee bit too much of sexy time, and not enough let's look at these characters' personalities and go into their deep lives. So I won't be continuing that series, but that was the only one out of that list that I didn't necessarily enjoy. Looking at the ones that I didn't read, so I started the Windy City series, but only read the first one, so I know that I want to continue it, but I don't think I want to put it on my TBR jar for January, or like my TBR, like 26 books, or what am I doing? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if I want to put it on my 26 book list because I just feel like I need to read them in my own time rather than like forcing myself to read them. Also, I didn't read Shatter Me, but I do still have it on my bookshelf and I do want to get to it. Lore of the Tides, I didn't read. We Hunt the Flame and We Free the Stars, I didn't read. Didn't read Plated Prisoner, didn't read Phantasma, didn't read Beneath These Cursed Stars or The Inheritance Games. Did I actually read anything? I mean, I must have because I read 110 books. There's still a couple of days left of the year when I'm filming this, so I don't really know what the final count is. It seems like I didn't read anything when in reality I actually did read quite a lot. In terms of DNF, I have officially DNF'd The Poppy War. I have tried about 6 times to get into it, and it's such a shame because R.F. Kuang is like one of my favorite authors. I love Yellowface. It's one of my favorite books of all time, and I really, really loved Babel, and I've got Calabasas, and I really want to read Calabasas. It's on my shelf. That will probably make it on the 26 book list, but I just don't think The Poppy War is for me. I might try it an audiobook at some point, but I've tried 3 or 4 times now, and I just can't get past like the first 5 or 6 chapters. So I am definitely DNFing that for now. Also on the list then for DNFs, we have Kingdom of the Wicked. I will be totally honest, I do not understand why people like the Kingdom of the Wicked series because I thought it was god awful. I just feel like it's just not for me. I can see why some people might like it. Like, I am the type of person that, like, if I'm a hater, I can also probably understand why other people like it. It's just not for me personally. And this was one of those books. I just don't think for a reader like me, it is enjoyable. And I just didn't enjoy it. The first one, I made it to like 60%. And then I was like, do you know what? Not happening. And I have no plans. With my massive TBR list, I have absolutely no plans to go and read the rest of the series. I may read Throne of the Fallen, because I heard that that's better. But I don't really know if I need to read the rest of the Kingdom of the Wicked series before Throne of the Fallen. I'm gonna have to do some research. Also on the list, we have Fear the Flames. If you see my videos from the start of last year, you'll know that I didn't like this. I have no plans to read the next one. I felt like nothing was being explained. We were being thrown left, right, and centre. The plot was there, but the backup and the explanation of the plot was not. And then we have The Temptation of Magic. I don't remember a single thing that happened in this book. I remember vaguely kind of enjoying it at the time, but I got to 80% and DNF'd. Clearly it just didn't make a big of an impact. I think something that I really want to try and focus on in the upcoming year is reading books that I know I want to read rather than forcing myself through books that I could just DNF and either donate if I've got physical copies or just get them out of my e-reader and focus on books that I actually want to read, because we are here for a finite amount of time on this earth. And if I, God forbid, I was to like get hit by a bus next month, I think I would rather have spent my time reading books I know that I'll enjoy and not really worrying about finishing the ones that I bought that I don't like. So someone else, I'm sure, will like them if I don't want them. Out of the ones then that I didn't read, I think I'm going to keep Phantasma and the Shatter Me series on the 2026 list. Now, Shatter Me is going to count as one because it's like a series, not a book. I know some people do like 26 books. Mine's like, it's more than 26 books, but it's like 26 segments, I guess. I'm gonna keep Shatter Me because I really want to get to that this year, and it is like high priority for me. And Phantasma, I just see it everywhere, and it's actually quite a sin that I haven't read it yet, so I'm gonna keep that as well. Also on the list from last year, I had Throne of Glass, ACOTAR, and Crescent City, because for the podcast, we are reading and doing episodes on them. We are just about to film Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms. We're around book 4 or 5. We've done Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, and Assassin's Blade for definite, and I think we're either about to do or have just recorded at this time Queen of Shadows. We actually initially planned to get through the whole mass first, and we just didn't. We're not even like the whole way through the first sort of segment yet, and some of the episodes we found are like taking like 4 hours to record because they need to be 2-parters, especially Heir of Fire because it was so huge. So I think I'm going to keep Throne of Glass and ACOTAR on the list for 2026. I'm going to take off Crescent City because I just don't think that we'll get there before the end of the year. And if we do, that would be amazing. I think I'd rather put something else on the list because I kind of would like to try and obviously I want to try and complete the list, but I'd like to try and complete the list, and I can't do that if the podcast is behind, but I know that we'll at least get through ACOTAR. Yeah, so Phantasma, Shatter Me, Throne of Glass, and ACOTAR are the first 4, and I'm going to keep those from the 2025 to 2026 list. Okay, so next, I have chosen 5 upcoming releases. I think something that I really did wrong last year was that a lot of my books were books that I already had, and I didn't account for the fact that there would be books coming out that I would stop and drop everything to read. I knew that I had Onyx Storm on the list for 2025, but I didn't have Brimstone, for example, and I dropped everything for that. Because of that, and because I want to make sure that I can take in the fact that I would like to include some of the books that I know are being released, I have chosen 5. So the 5 books that I know that are upcoming that I want to read are Love and Other Curses, so that is the second The Witcherly's book. Broken Dove, so the second Silver Elite book. Exquisite Torment of Loving Your Enemy, so that's the next book in the Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy. Daybreak, so the follow-up to Nightshade, and then Fever Dream, which is the new Elsie Silver book. So I feel like a lot of those, because they're romance-based, so Love and Other Curses, The Exquisite Torment of Loving Your Enemy, Daybreak, and Fever Dream are all romance-based. They might be easier to put on the list as well because they're going to be slightly shorter. I know that Broken Dove is going to be slightly longer, but I want to include it because I'd really like to get through this list, and if I include books that I'm more likely to read, then I'm more likely to finish the list, you know? Other than that then, I have chosen 6 books that are on my physical TBR. So this is part of my I want to read and unhaul any books that are below 4 stars from my bookshelves. We only have 3 bookshelves and only 2 of them are mine. Okay, so just as a little heads up, if you can see someone in the back, Alex has just joined me. There he is. You can ignore him. He's just always here. Just assume that if I'm filming in the bedroom, he is always in that corner. So on top of that, then I've chosen 6 books from my current physical TBR. I am still heavily working my way through my TBR. In September, I had 113 physical books that I hadn't read yet. I now have less than 80. I think it's about 78. So we are getting there. So I've chosen 6 that I know that I have that I really want to get through. So what we've got is The Night and the Moth, On Wings of Blood. I want to finish the last Elle Kennedy series that I have, so The Dixon Rule and the Charlie Method, Immortal Consequences, and Catabasis. So I feel like that's a really good selection because they're books that I definitely want to get to soon anyway, and I'm more likely to pick them up. I know that last year when it came to my physical TBR, I chose a lot of books that I wanted to get rid of off my shelves rather than books that I wanted to actually read. Okay, and then the last 5 that I've chosen are books that I don't have physical copies of, but I know I'm desperate to get to, whether they're on Kindle Unlimited. I know that I've got an ARC of one of them from NetGalley, and 2 that I'm like a series that I'm in the middle of that I'll definitely be picking up before probably like the end of January or February. So we've got Dungeon Crawler Carl 6 and 7 because I want to get my way up to the point of where the newest release is. I want to be totally caught up on that. I want to read Direbound because I wanted to read Direbound this year and just didn't. And then The Last Starborn Seer, I have an ARC of this. I've been really, really lucky to get an ARC of this, so I'm going to read that. And then the last one, which is a bit random, but I really want to read Nocticadia because I love a wee bit of like dark spooky academia, and I believe it's dark spooky academia. I meant to read Nocticadia this year, especially during like September, October time, and just didn't. So let's have a chat about that then all together because that was like a lot of yapping. So my 2026 book list or series is going to be Phantasma, Shatter Me, Throne of Glass, and Akatar. So they were kept from last year. I haven't counted this right because I think I've counted Throne of Glass and Akatar as the actual books. Oh no, I've done this wrong. Okay. We're changing. It's fine, we're changing. Okay, redo. It's fine. This is my channel, I can do whatever I want. Okay, we're going to do Phantasma and we're going to do Shatter Me. We're counting Shatter Me as 1 book because I don't know if I'll make it through the full series, but we're counting Shatter Me as 1 book. I also want to read the rest of Throne of Glass. So I have Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn, Kingdom of Ash. And then Akatar, I have all 5 Akatar books to get through. Upcoming release-wise, we have Love and Other Curses, Broken Dove, The Exquisite Torment of Loving Your Enemy, Daybreak, and Fever Dream. And then books on my physical TBR, we're choosing The Night and the Moth, On Wings of Blood, The Dixon Rule, The Charlie Method, Immortal Consequences, and Catabasis. And then also just adding in a couple of books that I want to read. I want to read Dungeon Crawler Carl 6 and 7, Direbound, The Last Starborn Seer, and Nocticadia. I feel like that's a pretty good list. I feel like there are not a lot of books on there that I either won't get to or will DNF because I've chosen books specifically that I want to read, or a lot of books that I'm anticipating are going to be a 4 or a 5-star read for me. I will keep you updated, of course, every month in the wrap-ups whether I actually read any of these books or when I pick them up. That is my 26 books or segments for 2026. If you've made it this far, I would love to know what you are planning to read or what your like top priorities are that you're planning to read for this year. Please leave them in a little comment below. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already because I would love to have you here and it would be so much fun to keep you and chat with you. And that's all I have for you today. Have a lovely rest of your week. See you in another video. Bye.